Yu-Gi-Oh! As a game has over 10,000 unique cards, and by this time most players have their own collections. Thanks to sites like TCG Player, singles are significantly more accessible, and you can get them all over the world. But what if they weren't as accessible? What if the only products you had access to were sealed product, like boxes, structure decks, megatons which contain good reprints, and things like Duel Devastator? Well, that's what this series aims to find out. Let's go with Sealed Only Online, where I'll be building a deck from scratch using only sealed products and then playing in virtual locals to find if we can become the sealed only king of games. Hey everyone, I'm Moose and welcome to episode 1 of the Sealed Only Online Challenge. Today we will not be opening up any packs, we'll be spinning for the structure deck which will form the base of our deck. Just so that we can have a cohesive deck going into episode 1, we can always switch to a different strategy as we get more cards in our collection. In each subsequent episodes, we'll open up 10 packs, either 10 packs of a single set, or 5 packs of 2 different sets, but we'll decide that based on the cards that we need at the start of the episode. And there will also be special challenges where we can unlock bonus openings, either promo cards like Scrap Wyvern, which are inaccessible outside of the promo packs, or extra structure decks, or even things like Duel Devastator. So that's the plan, but let's start with the wheel spin. And here is the wheel of structure decks that I've picked for this occasion. I would have put dinosaurs on here as well, but the problem is that I just finished a Sealed Only Dino series on Twitch and I really wasn't in the mood to play dinos again. You'll see also that the Cyberstrike OCG list is on here as well. If it is legal at the time of doing the first episode of this, I will be using the deck, otherwise I'm gonna have to respin. So let's see what we get from this. I really hope it's something good. And we get Shaddoll Showdown. Okay. So it looks like I'm on my way to building Shaddoll Invoke Dogmatica. The Megaton reprints will certainly come in handy for that when that becomes legal. But for this first episode, we have 3 Shaddoll Showdown structure decks to use for our deck. So let's get into the deck building. Okay, and here's the deck we're bringing to the first episode. It is the first one. We have nothing outside the structure decks, but if we are starting with structure decks, to be honest, Shaddoll is one of the best ones to start with. I was actually going for Order of the Spellcasters, if I'm being completely honest. I wanted to build Pendulums, but Shaddoll seems like a better pick overall. Starting off with 1 Armageddon Knight. It's limited, but it's a nice Foolish Burial. Then 2 Mathematician. It does eat our normal summon, but it is as well a Foolish Burial. And if it's killed by battle, we get to draw a card. It's also a nice Earth target if we want to make Shekinaga. 2 Nail Shaddoll Aerial for, just DD crowing our opponent or getting our banished Shaddolls back. 3 Trick Clown, it's nice to get more bodies on board, but it's also a good construct target, which is great. 3 Reshaddoll Wendy, probably the best card in the deck, able to summon out the Shaddolls straight from the deck and able to be chain blocked if we're using things like Trick Clown as well to make construct. Then we've got 1 Shaddoll Beast, which is, a 5-star, but always good to have extra draw power. 1 Shaddoll Dragon for that monster spell and trap removal. 1 Shaddoll Falco, just to be able to special summon itself back from the grave to protect us. 2 Shaddoll Hedgehog, if we can flip this, we can add the fusion spells to our hand. If it gets sent to the graveyard, we get a monster to our hand, so either way we're getting advantage. And Squamata just to dump our other Shaddoll cards to the graveyard. Then we've got 3 Allure of Darkness for extra draw power, because who doesn't want extra cards in your hand? 3 El Shaddoll Fusion, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Instant Fusion for turboing out a window if we need to, because we can also use that window to get our own fusion spells and stuff back. 1 Part of Avarice, because it's really not a card you want to see in the early game, but in the late game it's pretty good. 3 Shaddoll Fusion, 3 Super Poly for using our opponent's monsters, 2 Twin Twisters, 2 Lost Wind, and 2 Red Shaddoll Incarnation. To be honest, this deck doesn't really have much in terms of beaters or finishes, so we don't have anything like Bottle Sword or Access Code or anything like that. So to be honest, the best beaters we've got are BLS and Dad, but we'll make do, and I don't want to put them in because I don't know how well they're going to work with this deck right now. 2 Lava Golem because we don't have Kaijus, another Beast in case we want that extra draw power, another Avarice, another Twin Twisters, and then 2 Unending Nightmare for, some more spell and trap removal, because 3 Twin Twisters is great, but if we are under IO, we still need something that can get that off the field. So Unending Nightmare in the side deck doesn't seem like the worst plan. In the extra, we've got 1 Water Shaddoll Fusion. I'm not even going to try and say the name, I had to edit out tons of clips of me trying to say the name, just because if we go up against a water deck, it's a nice super poly target, or we can just make it with aerial. 2 Apgalone, because we want to be able to get that negate, and also to get our Shaddoll spells and traps to our hand. 3 Construct, because, well, it's Construct, it gets us to dump, it's massively useful against special summon heavy decks, which is, well, just decks nowadays. 1 Grister, because, you know, being able to get rid of fire monsters is always useful if we end up in a Salamangreat match or something like that. And also, it's nice to actually deal with special summons. 2 Shekinaga for dealing with the effects of special summon monsters, and also, you know, for fusion summoning off the Mathematician. 1 Wendigo for, you know, wind monsters. Virtual World is a thing, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is a thing. If we can super poly that off for Wendigo, that's not too bad. 3 Winder, because Winder survived the ban list, and being able to limit our opponent's special summons is going to be really important, especially in the early stages. Winder's always important for Shaddolls, but especially in these early stages where we don't really have much in terms of being able to counter powerful plays by our opponent, we want to lock them out of actually doing much by just getting the Winder on board. We don't have Schism, but getting Winder out should be, you know, something at least. And then 2 Shaddoll Construct. Honestly, terrible card. We needed a Link monster. It does help with the fusion summoning, and it's another light target for Construct if we can't get a Trick Clown out of our deck, so there's that. Well, that's the deck for now, so let's get on to Dueling Book, play our 4 matches, and then see how we do for the first episode. Okay, so game 1 we were up against a very unknown deck, and we went first because that seemed to be our best option. We managed to trigger off the Wendy, get a Shaddoll fusion going, get a Construct out, but unfortunately, because it's been a while, I did not play around the Nibiru, and we just got Nibiru'd for a very, very beefy token though, almost 6,000 attack and 4,200 defense. We did have to deal with the C, so we made Shekinaga, got our Wendy out, just, you know, special summon Construct, and won the game that way. Then we went to game 2, and we realized we're up against B-Troopers, which was not ideal for me. Honestly, that was a really bad matchup. He went full combo, there really wasn't much I could do. I don't have any hand traps or anything like that, but we made Lava Golem, so that was fine. Then we couldn't really do much except make Construct. We attacked over, and we couldn't do any more damage, but eventually at the end of his full combo, he had an access code Talker of 5300, and as well as a Doomdozer, so we lost game 2. Game 3, he went first again, so yeah, pretty much full combo again. It really wasn't anything different to game 2, except for the fact that he didn't make access code Talker in this match, so I tried again to play around what he was doing, but couldn't really do much besides make a Shekinaga with an Armageddon Knight on the field and a Lost Wind. They didn't really help us though. I was assuming he'd summon an access code Talker, but he just attacked for game. And yeah, that was game 1. Game 2 was, you know, slightly better, I guess. We ended up going first against Cyber Dragons, but we bricked really hard, and Ash did not help us. Neither did the Lure, so we got absolutely nothing. We just let him play out his first turn, and, well, to be honest, I don't quite know what happened in this duel. I don't know how to explain it. You'll see what I mean in a second. He made the Nova, brought back the Hertz, realized he couldn't use its effect, made Verte, so I conceded, and suddenly he conceded the match. I have no idea what happened there. Game 3, my opponent actually rage quit after I used Winder, and he made a Dragoon, then rage quit, but game 4 we were up against Tri Brigade. So we made a Winder on the first turn, and we set the Super Poly with an Earth and a Falco on the field, playing up against Tri Brigade. He had the Feather Duster, but didn't really help when we made a Shekinaga. We couldn't trigger the Falco, but when he realized that he couldn't special summon on Link Summoning, he gave up. Well, and there you have it. 4 games later, we came out of there with, what? 2 wins, a very surprising rage quit that I guess counts as a win, I don't know, and a loss in our first game. So, honestly, most of our wins came from annoyance at Winder rather than, you know, supposedly skillful gameplay. But I think we did a pretty good job in game 1 and in game 4. Game 2 was a bit weird, I don't know what was going on there. But anyway, that's it. We at least, you know, we won 2 games in our first ever episode. So that's it for now. Next episode we'll be opening up 10 packs. I won't tell you what yet, I'll let you figure it out for yourself. Post down in the comments what your predictions are, what do you think I'm going to be opening. Leave a like down below if you liked the video, leave a comment telling me, did you like the series, you like the idea, and what other content ideas do you think you'd like me to try, and make sure to subscribe for more fun Yu-Gi-Oh content. Thanks everyone, see you next time.